Been hearing about this from so many different relationships. I think I've heard about this about Ray J, and I think her name is Princess, and some other well-known relationships where they want to bring in this other partner, and they believe that this is going to help the relationship.
Spice it up.
Yeah, they believe it's going to spice it up.
Most of these women that are doing this with a man don't even be bisexual. Like, they be straight. If this is your first time watching, you don't know. I have shared that I had a past with women. And so when I find out that another woman has had a past with women, I am a little like,
I told you about this. I said I had an ex who let me basically cheat multiple times.
Yeah.
I would go back and I'd be like, yeah, I slept with so-and-so again. Person would continually bring me back, and didn't matter the level of education, none of that. Really, her value was lowering in my head.
And then y'all get mad that these men play y'all, but you presented yourself as a toy to be played with because you allowed him to have threesomes. You allowed him to go to the strip club. You allowed him to watch porn. You allowed him to talk about that girl booty that walked past. We're not playing that. Yeah. You watch your mouth.
Yeah. This is an Iwegbus production.
Period.
All right, Neo has been the topic of many conversations for a while now. I feel like for over a year.
Yeah.
As you know, he's went through a divorce, went through court case. He's also had an ex who broke up, and then she's apologizing then to his ex-wife. He had an ex-girlfriend who apologized to his ex-wife. So he's been having a lot going on. And in the midst of this, I recently ran across a clip of one of his exes, Mayetta Shaw Carter. She revealed how they ended relationships. So he was actually supposed to get married to this person, babe. He was supposed to get married to this young lady, and I believe she's on the Real Housewives of Atlanta now. But he's supposed to get married to her, and it did not happen. She said some things about why their relationship ended. I want you guys to check this out.
Exclusive. Ooh. Anyway, but so everybody's talking about why, like, could have been back then, but God's got a plan, honey, and timing. It's timing.
Okay, Monietta, you got to educate me.
Yeah,
he was cheating.
Well, he wasn't ready.
Okay.
So yeah, we cheated together, if that makes sense. And then it just wasn't enough. And I was like, well, no, I didn't sign up to do this every day.
We cheated, so you cheated.
No, baby. I mean, like we did things together. So it's not cheating if you're involved with it.
Oh.
Yeah, like the little.
Okay.
Hey y'all, she classy, but she got the other side.
Okay.
When she wanted.
A lady in the street.
Whatever it's gonna be. Yeah.
And
maybe.
whatever in the street.
Maybe. Hi.
Wow.
Anyway, so no, but like honestly, I'm just very multifaceted, and that's where I was at that time. But it became a problem when you want that, a lot. Like maybe I'll give you maybe twice a year, but or
it's like
3 times. But it's like,
too much for you.
Yeah, it was too much. I'm like, oh, if you want that, you don't want me. It was making it seem like I'm not enough. And
wow.
and I'm like, oh, okay, well, I grew up with a loving father, thank God, and a loving mother. So, I know my self-worth. Even though we can't lose it because baby, I lost myself after, the breakup and, having kids because my parents, before she passed, they would have been married for 50 years, and that's all I saw. So that's all I wanted, and so I was devastated. But yeah, so, tried to keep it cute and spicy and stuff, but it wasn't enough. And it is what it is, Shy. So I knew, the plan was coming later, just trust the process.
A lot was popular now, and I've been hearing about this from so many different relationships. I think I've heard about this about Ray J, and I think her name is Princess, and some other well-known relationships where they want to bring in this other partner, and they believe that this is going to help the relationship.
Spice it up.
Yeah, they believe it's going to spice it up. A lot of women think that he's going to cheat anyway. Basically. So I might as well control the situation and bring them in. And every single time I hear anybody from the Breakfast Club or any of these other social media platforms are speaking about this, they're talking about how the man still went on and did his thing anyway. I'm just wondering, when do we get the picture?
Yeah.
Now, not trying to down her or anything, man. She's an actress. Seems like she has a lot going for herself. She's an author. She's co-parenting with him. She has 2 of his 7 kids, 2 of Neo's 7 kids.
Neo got 7 kids?
He has 7 kids. I did not know that until I did my research.
Dang.
Yeah, he got 7 kids.
He got that on the hush hush. Y'all talking about Nick Cannon.
Yeah,
he's talking about Neo.
Neo out here doing his thing. Just saw him recently walking. They said they saw him walking down South Beach. Had two girls with him. You want to do it, man? Is what they say, access to excess. Like he just, when you got that money, it's just so much at his fingertips. It's hard for him to stay contained, and that sucks. But as you see this young lady, she seems like a pretty proper young lady. Grew up. This is what's crazy. I'm hearing her. She said that she grew up in a household. Mother and father would have been married for 50 something years or whatever. So she grew up right. So you even see the most educated women, the women that were raised up in the church and all of this, getting with a man who just can't keep his thing in his pants, has no type of self-control. And because she doesn't want to lose the man, she then bends on her morals and her morals and values and think that's going to help things out, and it still don't do nothing. Now you done took him to the candy store and you said, no, just stay in this section. He like, what? He like, no, I want everything. Mm-hmm. That's how it happens multiple times. And I'm just wondering, when are we, people in the church, outside the church, whenever, in all relationships, when are we gonna know that this just don't work, babe? What you think?
Yeah, it makes me think of first and foremost, most of these women that are doing this with the men, with a man, don't even be bisexual. Like, they be straight.
That's the thing. That's what it don't seem like she's bisexual at all.
She don't even give bisexual, and so that's when it's giving forced. That's when it's giving desperation because. Mm-hmm. First and foremost, like, obviously we don't agree with threesomes, but like, for a woman to actually be actually sexually satisfied by a woman is one thing. You are literally just doing this to keep this man, and you did not keep him. Come on. And I just wonder how many times do y'all got to hear these type of stories. And let me just go ahead and knock you upside your head too. They're saying, "Oh, we don't watch we don't have threesomes." But if you watch Corn, that is the same thing.
Bringing another person in.
You're bringing another person. You take them to the strip club. That is the same thing. You cannot feed your flesh. That's why the Bible tells us to crucify it, to murder it, to murder that flesh every day, to lay it at God's throne. Like, every part of me, I cannot entertain it. This is also why. You are, for me, because I mean, if this is your first time watching, you don't know. But if it isn't, I have shared that I had a past with women. And so when I find out that another woman has had a past with women, I am a little like, okay, we watch it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm very, not hesitant, but just aware. Like, I'm not the type of person where I'm like, oh, I'm just past everything. Like, there are some things that God has 100% delivered me from, and that is one of them. But it still does not mean that I play with the devil or I play with sin, especially sin that I once was into. Yeah. And I say all that to say, when you have a man who is a man who already is lustful and wants to do these extra things, you can't play with him like that. Nope. Like, of course he's gonna want more. Of course it's another threesome. Then it's like, oh, I'm not enough. No, you aren't. You aren't enough, and you will never be enough for a man like that. And so the crazy thing is, the women do this thinking that it's going to keep him, or thinking that they are having some type of control. Like, oh, at least he's cheat. Remember she said we cheat together. That sounds dumb. Like, no, you are doing this because you think you're going to lose him, and you still end up losing him because he's a dog.
And especially when these dudes when they're entertainers, when they're football and basketball players on a professional level, they feel like, also, I'm gonna lose the bag because now she's used to this lifestyle too, and she thinks she's maybe not gonna lose this lifestyle. And I believe,
she had a kid, so that's a bag.
So she gonna have the bag based off of the kids. I was looking at some of that interview that she had there, and she also was speaking about how she did still lose a bag. She said that at a point she was gonna be on the Real Housewives of Atlanta early stages, like the third season. This is when I guess some of the bigger names came on, maybe. And I've never watched this, so please, I might be messing this up, but I believe she said is when the big names, like I guess Candy and Portia and whoever these other people start coming on. She didn't go with it. Why? Because his manager said that would ruin his career. So she could have been getting her bag for the kids, and she could have been getting her early bag. Been in the early stages, her contract probably would have been making way more. Yeah, huh?
He's super private.
That's why he had been until now. So she lost a bag over that. So these women, this is also why we see women on this more of independent grind, get mine. I'm not really putting all my eggs in one basket with this man. No, I'm not about to quit my job and stay at home.
Yeah, they scared.
Yeah, they scared because of the type of man that they're dealing with, and I do fully do understand that, but
no, that's their fault. Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't have no type of right. Because first and foremost, when you put yourself down to a level. Down is the level
Yeah,
you're
that's what I
going
was
to.
going. Yeah.
When you having threesomes and taking them to the strip club and entertaining other women, you are already putting yourself at a disadvantage to a woman that knows that she's a wife, that know that she is a woman of God, that knows that I know my worth. You don't. You clearly don't. Like, let's be honest. You don't know your worth. Yeah. Your worth was locked up into a man. And that's the thing that I wish that women like her, and just period, when women come out of these situations, that they will be clear with the other women saying, hey, y'all, don't do that. Like, it'll never be enough for them, because it's going to be thousands upon thousands upon thousands of women that are okay with that. I'm not one of them. And then y'all get mad that these men play y'all, but you presented yourself as a toy to be played with, because you allowed him to have threesomes. You allowed him to go to the strip club. You allowed him to watch porn. You allowed him to talk about that girl booty that walked past. We're not playing that. Yeah. You watch your mouth. Yeah. I know who I am. If you want to, go ahead. And then the Lord will bless me with whoever that man is. But you stand your ground. You don't go down to the level of a dog. You stay up so you can find that king that you believe God has blessed you with. Yeah. But a lot of times we're not even aware that we lower our standards in their head as the man. Like, oh, I know I can play with her. That's the part. I know I can cheat on her.
That's the part right there.
I know I can. It was an accident. I was drunk. I was on tour. My bad. I'm so sorry. 100 bands.
And I'm gonna tell you that from experience as a man. Like, I didn't have no woman doing no threesomes for me or nothing like that. But what I remember is, I told you about this. I said I had an ex who let me basically cheat multiple times. Yeah. And I would go back and I'd be like, yeah, I slept with so and so again. And I did. And the person would continually bring me back, and didn't matter the level of education, none of that.
Nope.
Really, her value was lowering in my head. In hindsight, when I'm looking back at it, I just didn't respect it the same. I knew I could go out and just do the same thing over again. It'll be a bad argument, maybe some stuff thrown. At the end of the day, she gonna let me stay. And so that's what you're saying. You're telling these men how to treat you every time you allow them to do these things. When you allow them to bring somebody into the relationship in the bedroom with you guys. And then had a nerve sometimes, they'll end up marrying these dudes and thinking that, this guy who hasn't changed his life fully. Now, don't get it wrong. The blood of Jesus can really change some brothers. You know what I'm saying? Like, but a lot of times these dudes who haven't shown any self-control in their single life, you think you about to have him walk you down the aisle, and then all of a sudden it just cut off. As soon as y'all say I do, it's this switch that flips, and all of a sudden it's no more.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it don't work that way.
Yeah.
We're just telling you by experience as far as just other things in our relationship.
Yeah.
It does not matter. As soon as you get married, it does not erase that away, man. Nope. So don't be fooled, women. Like my wife said, know your value, man. Show them. Stand on it. Yeah. God has somebody for you. God has somebody for you.
Yeah.
And I'm telling you, if you just wait on it, man, he's out there waiting, man. I'll be running. I'll be like, man, I need to somehow hook up some of the single brothers that I know that's really love the Lord. Somehow get them with some of the single sisters that I know through you, and I don't know, somehow make a matchmaker. Yeah. Like, really, where we come from in Kansas City, I know some brothers who really love the Lord. Yeah. Who are single, who looking for somebody. And then I run across people here in Atlanta, young ladies that you may know, and I'm like, dang, man, if so-and-so knew so-and-so, that'd be a dope hookup. So we got to have to figure out something with that.
Yeah, you never know. The Lord might do something.
Yeah, so
that makes sense for us.
For sure. It does, really. But I don't know, what do y'all think about this, man? About this whole situation, what she was going through? Yeah. What are y'all thoughts? I would love to know it. Let us know in the comments below. Hey, thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you could do us a huge favor, please hit that like button and please subscribe.
Yes, and please do not forget to hit that notification bell. We need y'all to be locked in every single time we drop this fire content. Yeah. Also, we need y'all to follow us on all social media platforms at the Iwegbus. And look, we will see y'all on the next video.